Hey, what? Okay, there it goes. For a second there, I wasn't even on screen. That was weird. Anyways, hello, Danger Noodles, and hello, random person. The first analog core of the night, one of the two that we'll watch, is The Incomplete People. Nice. Apparently, I haven't watched it, but apparently it has really good drawings of the creatures. So I guess we'll see.
Oh, what does?
This analog core has really good drawings of the creatures.
Oh.
Yeah. Puss just snoring in the background. It's like covering them in a uh I forgot what it's called, but it's basically a blanket that traps heat.
Huh?
It's basically a blanket that traps the heat inside.
Oh, blanket that traps the heat. I thought you said something else.
Now, Bussin loves those blankets because he does not like winter.
Fair enough. He doesn't have a lot of fur.
But he loves playing in the snow, so it's kind of weird.
Well, you can like the fuzzy cold stuff without liking the cold.
Yeah. Alright. The following PowerPoint presentation was recovered from computer Professor Benjamin Jones. 3, 2, in his eight years at King's Crossing University, oh boy, Dr. Jones' classes had become quite popular with the students at the university. He taught many courses in the history department and did a yearly Halloween lecture called The Haunted History of Kate's Crossing, where he discussed the town's many urban legends. That must have been a really long ass class.
Wait, what?
I was making a joke because of everything that happens at Kate's Crossing.
Uh,
This-
they had an entire semester. And I'm sure a lot of books to read, which happens in some classes. They're the ones who signed up for it.
Yeah. Alright, in Halloween 2008, Dr. Jones gave what would be his final lecture. He spoke of a relatively unknown legend, incomplete people. 30 students attended the presentation. 8 of them perished after the class, some under very odd circumstances. 6 disappeared, including Dr. Benjamin Jones.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't know.
that's immediately the
I
death.
was going to say, I do not think he's alive anymore.
Yeah. Soon after Dr. Jones and his final lecture became an urban legend of its own, 16 surviving attendees said despite this creepy subject and some theatrics, there was nothing unusual about the presentation, but the more superstitious disagree. Something in the presentation must be evil and potentially dangerous. Oh, well, we're gonna die.
No.
Continue watching, then you do so at your own risk.
Uh huh.
Well, I'm immortal. I don't know about Jerry.
I'm very good at beating the shit up of ghosts
Hello,
that
everyone.
are very
Welcome.
uncooperative.
Wow, the beginning was loud, but he's quiet. Sorry. Alright. Oh my gosh, this was reminding me back in fucking early middle school, late. elementary school
Happy
present
Halloween.
point.
It's spooky season, so that means it's time for another ghastly tale from the haunted history of Kate's Crossing. Tonight's topic is a little unique compared to my previous lectures. For one, very few people have heard
He
these
was
stories.
very old.
The occurrences are so rare and spread out that they almost seem unrelated. Almost. Second, usually I'm in a library reading dusty old books, hoping I stumble onto something interesting. However,
Oh?
this is the first time something interesting came looking for me. Tonight, we're talking about the incomplete people.
Oh.
Ah, no, thank you.
This is already creepy.
This is very good art, but also no, thank you.
So I'm sure you're asking, who or what are the incomplete people? Well, from what I can tell, they seem to be ghosts or apparitions missing a piece of their bodies, like arms, legs, torso, head, or a combination of the above. And what they seem to want is to replace those missing appendages by taking them from their victims.
What?
Scary, right? Now let me back up. To fully understand this story, I need to start at the beginning, or at least the beginning for me. 2 years ago, I received an email from someone claiming to be a former student, Michelle Astor. She claimed to be researching a relatively unknown urban legend called the Incomplete People, and wondered if I was familiar with the topic. Michelle said she first discovered the legend in an online message board dedicated to the paranormal. When I said that I was unfamiliar, she emailed me 3 stories. As you can imagine, I get a lot of emails like this. Most of the time, I kick them to a grad student to vet, or I delete them altogether. But this one felt different. And when you've been doing this as long as I have, you tend to get overly excited at the opportunity to discover something new. So, 3 stories. They came to me in no particular order, but let's start with the first one I read. The Curious Case of Jessica Bell.
Oh.
It was 1985, and Jessica was a freshman at this university. According to those that knew her, she was a serious student who mostly kept to herself. Jessica had a handful of close friends, no boyfriend, and her only social activity seemed to be her participation in a variety of campus clubs. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Days before her death, she started complaining about hearing another student screaming in the hallways of her dorms late at
Oh.
night. Over and over, she screamed, "You have my arms! You have my arms!" There are police reports to back this story up. Believe me, I've checked. Jessica made the same complaint for 3 days, but no one else ever heard what she heard. Jessica must have thought she was being pranked because she offered the police a recording, which we have. Hear anything?
Nope.
All right, let's listen again.
Still don't hear anything.
Good. Neither do I. Neither do they. But on the 4th night, this weird story gets weirder. Jessica
Oh,
claimed
God.
an armless girl was trying to get into her room. From what she described, the woman was trying to bite her way through the door. Jessica claimed that when she looked through the peephole, all that she could see was the woman's open mouth coming for her. The drawing you're seeing was provided by my friend Greg Warringchuk. This is going to help us visualize the monster. He provided the others that you'll see too. So at this point, campus police dismissed her report, which they would come to regret. The next morning, she was found dead.
Why am I not surprised by that?
Yeah.
Also, dear God, that's horrifying looking.
Well, makes you feel any better. Police and other individuals often dismiss women while they're in distress.
Okay, this
You
guy.
are a woman.
This got distressing rather quickly.
You know what? Why don't we just continue?
Yeah.
In her car, missing both of her arms. No arrests were ever made. They couldn't connect the crime to anyone, nor could they find anyone fitting the description of the armless woman. The appendages were, of course, never found. The coroner report said the wounds were consistent with bite marks, human bite marks. Time passed, and many came to believe that the coroner got it wrong. It had to be an animal attack. What else would want arms, right? I'm not sorry to say that that one had me hooked. It had just the right amount of truth and weirdness to be an urban legend. Okay, story number 2. In 1989, Carl DeLont, recent college grad, had just started a job in insurance. Friends said he was a nice, outgoing guy, until, of course, he wasn't. Friends say he became obsessed with a Polaroid camera he found in his new apartment. He spent hundreds of dollars on film cartridges and took pictures of random empty spaces wherever he went. It was so bad, friends claimed he wouldn't go longer than 10 minutes without taking a picture. When asked why, he would just say he was protecting himself. Well, according to Shelley, his girlfriend, he must have found whatever he was looking for, because on a date, after snapping a photo, he became very afraid. He claimed there was a skinless man in the photo. Shelley claimed it was just another empty photo. After the incident, DeLont locked himself in his home and would not leave under any circumstances. This went on for several days until Shelley went to his home with the intentions of ending things. Too bad things had already ended, because what she found was truly disturbing. Carl's home was covered in Polaroid pictures. Thousands of empty photographs were just lying on the floor and taped to the wall. And near the television there was a puddle of dried blood and a single bone from an index finger, which was assumed to be Carl's. No suspects were ever arrested, and every photo was destroyed, except one. This one, conveniently enough. I'd like to bring your attention to this smudge, right here. You can see the shape of what looks like a person. See it? How about now? This leaves just one question. Is it real? Or just Photoshop?
It looks like Photoshop.
Yeah, that's Photoshop.
Random person, I have my limits.
And now for the third story Miss Astor sent me. In 1978, Vietnam veteran Daniel Smith retired from the Army and came home to take care of his family's farm. He wasn't home more than 2 weeks before claiming that there was a man cut in half living in the television. But Daniel insisted that he saw the creature in every program he watched, every time he turned it on. It got so bad, Daniel threw out the television. Eventually, his wife convinced her husband to see a doctor, who contributed his ailment to post-Vietnam syndrome, or what we know as PTSD. Daniel believed that the bisected man, as he named him, was punishment for the things he did in the war. He never said what those things were. He took those details to the grave. A little over 2 months after returning home, Daniel would be found dead from a bizarre tractor accident. His legs were never recovered. Creepy, right? Well, it's about to get creepier. Once I was convinced there was some kernel of truth to these stories, I emailed Miss Astor and asked if she'd like to meet. She replied with a video and a question. Do you see anything? And now I ask you, do you see anything?
Oh boy.
Yep, neither do I. I emailed her again asking what I was supposed to be seeing. She immediately replied telling me that she found one of the incomplete people outside her home.
Oh, she's dead.
This one didn't have his head.
Before
I could
she's
reply,
definitely dead.
She followed up with a second email. There was a link to another article. In the warning, she wrote, I think this is how they find you. They notice when people come looking, and I don't think it matters if you know what you're looking for. I think it's as simple as finding something in a picture, a painting, or a video that you didn't notice before. It's when you take that second look, that's when they find you. And when they find you, they own you. I'll be honest, this stuff doesn't get under my skin often, but this did. I let myself get caught up in the story. Of course, my curiosity was still piqued. I had to see what Michelle shared. This one tells the story of Amy LeBlanc, 19...
Look, there are a handful of people who can survive in this town. She is not one of them. Which explains why this guy went missing, because he's definitely dead.
Yeah.
Seeing how he also shared this with other people, a lot of people are either dead or infected. So basically, this kind of seems like a mimetic ghost thing, for compared to something else, like any other horror genre. Because like if you don't know what they are or whatnot, they're not going to go after you. It's the fact that you reasonably know what they are and try and look for them is what makes them go after you. So we're dealing with mimetic ghost. What's the funniest thing I saw this one? This one. Oh God.
1992. She was in her late 20s and had recently moved to New York in hopes of starting a music career. One weekend, she attended an art exhibit with her roommate, Carol. It featured photos of the city and canons of a variety of people doing whatever New Yorkers do. However, Amy noticed something that was odd about the exhibit. According to her, there was a woman missing her jaw inhabiting most of the pictures on display. And, as I'm sure you can probably guess, Carol couldn't see it. No one else saw it. She even went on to ask about it during the Q&A section. Of course, no one knew what the woman was talking about. The photographer thought it was a disrespectful prank and asked Amy to leave, which she did. According to Carol, her and Amy had a few drinks, nothing serious, but maybe that was enough to impair her friend. Amy decided to catch a cab and go home while Carol remained behind. Around midnight, Carol came home and she found Amy dead in the living room, missing her jaw. And if you don't believe this story, then by all means check out the Times, March 3rd, 1992 issue. You'll find a story featuring Amy. Now I was really creeped out. Could this be real? I emailed Michelle asking her for another meeting. She didn't reply. A few days passed, and I emailed her again. Nothing.
She's dead.
I tried one final time. I received a mailer demon. Her email no longer existed. She was gone. I should have done this sooner, but I decided to go through my old class rosters. Apparently, I never taught anyone named Michelle Astor. Scared yet? I was for a minute. I concluded that whoever Michelle was played a trick on me. A really good one, too. It's either that or they are in fact real. The prankster went out and found these similar stories and created the backstory for me to connect the dots. Regardless, I think it's fair to give whoever they are credit for creating something new. Something only this brand new digital world could give us. It wasn't real, but maybe it is now. And, in some way, probably always will be. And that might be all that matters. Once an idea is out there, it takes a life of its own. Although it's never really here, it's never really gone either. It's forever incomplete until we come in contact with it and finish it ourselves.
Well, that's horrifying. Her ghost.
After my video on
They're
the incomplete
ghosts, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the most messed one is. I have no idea actually. Two of them look like definite murder victims.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, I really like the art on this one.
It's really nice.
Yeah, these things are horrifying. Head on a pair of legs is just funny. I mean, yeah, until it kills you.
Well, technically, one is a pair of legs with a head, and the other one looks like a torso with no head and no lower part of the torso, just the upper torso, and no neck. Which is sometimes what happens to bodies when people are killed. Anyway,
Random versus counterpoint. Uppercuts now count and double. Or uppercuts now double as crotch shots.
thank you, random person.
Wait, is it 3, 2,
people, I started receiving emails from a few of my subscribers claiming they too have seen an incomplete person. I have to admit that I found a few of them very creepy. I compiled the top 8 into this video and will
So
let you
all
be
those
the
people are
judge
dead.
on whether they are real or not. Email 1, the Shredded Man.
Oh.
After watching your video, I started seeing an incomplete person. I took a picture, but of course no one else can see it. Maybe you can. He looked like he was ran through a paper shredder, but there was no blood, just gaps in his body. I don't know how he moved around or didn't collapse into a pile of flesh. Please help me. I'm scared to think what would happen if this thing got me.
You die. Don't see it.
Email 2, a head with 2 arms. Oh my
Oh.
God, does anyone else see that thing in the
Oh.
picture? It's a head with 2 arms growing out of its ears. Please, someone tell me that I'm not crazy. I see this thing
You're laughing, but
everywhere.
that's
It chases
that's
me
honestly
every time I
terrifying.
leave the house.
Yeah, I know.
And it's so damn
It's
fast.
just what they said.
Please, any advice would be appreciated.
Oh.
They
Email
have a
3.
baby.
A head with legs. I've seen this thing my entire life. I make 22 this year. Only I can see it. When I was a kid, my parents said it was my imaginary friend. I call it Jimmy the Head because it's a head with legs. The head looks normal, like a guy in his 40s. It's never tried to hurt me, but it always follows me around. Everywhere I go, I see it. I thought it was harmless. Now, after watching your video, I'm scared to think that it might one day try to attack me or something. Do you think it's waiting for me to get older? To be the same age as the head?
Ugh. Jesus.
Email 4, the Divided Woman. Help, Vintage. I was eating lunch in my school's cafeteria and saw this horribly disfigured woman crawl in. I was surprised no one else saw it. How could anyone not? She was missing half of her body. It was like she was split down the middle. I asked a friend about it, but when I tried to point it out, it was gone. I was hoping I'd never see it again, but there it is, waiting for me in front of my apartment.
So all but one is dead right now, because one seems to just be waiting.
Email 5, Hole in Head.
Oh.
I woke up and found this man with a large hole where his face should be. You could see his brain, his tongue, his teeth, everything. It scared the shit out of me. I screamed, my mom rushed into my bedroom, but she didn't see it. She thought I was playing a prank. When I went to catch the bus, I saw it again, staring at me. What should I do? Any advice would be appreciated.
Oh. I still do not see it.
Email 6, the Headless Woman. Do you see the woman with no head here? Your videos cursed us all. Do I have to worry about this monster hunting me down and taking my head? I don't want that because it's my only one after all. Is there a way to stop this thing? Can you hurt them or something?
Doubtful. I highly doubt it.
The Crawl.
I think she's
I was
screwed.
picking up some
Yeah.
groceries when I noticed this bisected man crawling after me. All of its guts and were hanging out. It was hella gross and almost made me sick. I got out of there as soon as I could, but I'm worried I'll see it again. What have you done to us, Vintage?
Oh yeah, you showed the video on YouTube? Then yeah, a lot of people are infected and are gonna
And
die.
finally, email 8. I found this one to be the most uncomfortable to read. I've been seeing these things since I turned 18. My dad saw them too, just like his dad before him. I thought they were a family curse, but it's a relief to hear that others have seen them too. There's only one way to save yourself for one of these things. You give what it wants by taking it from someone else. If it's missing a head, it needs a head, hands, feet, and so on. Sometimes what they are missing is harder to please. But if you have a strong stomach, you'll figure it out.
Okay,
It was
so
2
he's a
months
killer.
after my birthday when the first one found me. It was hollow in the
He
center.
might not be a killer
My
and
dad
might just
helped
be
me
cutting up
find someone to
corpses,
take my place.
but that's still illegal.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got them, and he never offered to tell me. But he did give me 2 pieces of advice. 1, you have to do the killing, or the one following you won't take it. 2nd, choose someone that deserves it. It's easier to live with.
Oh,
Nope, he is a killer.
yeah.
So literally the only way to survive is to kill someone else. Damn.
The second one I came across was missing its left arm, right leg, left side of its torso, and 3/4 of its face. I was 29 when this one showed up. Just married. Dad and I drove several states over to find my replacement. The guy beat his wife and kids. Nasty guy. He never did anyone much good until he met us. My dad and I helped each other out until his 70s. When the last one came, he asked me to let it have him. I found him with a hole in his chest a few days later.
Guilt.
I was 32 when I came across this one. It was the first one to find me since I lost my dad. Horrible looking thing. It had no face. You could see the muscle and ligaments that are normally underneath the skin. I found my replacement closer to home this time. He was a drug dealer, peddled poison to minors. He's another one no one's going to miss. But I will always remember how much he screamed when I removed his face. The last one wasn't mine.
Ah. Well, at least the people being killed kind of deserve it.
Well, yeah.
You know what? Counter opinion? Just constantly kill members of the Call of the Eye and feed it to these people.
Aaron,
Yeah?
I don't think that's legal.
It ain't. But they don't do illegal shit either.
Press play.
This was my son's. He's just turned 18 and the curse has found him like it found us. Poor fellow. This one had no midsection. It held itself up by walking on its legs like stilts. My son had a hard time with the bone saw, but he got through it. I'm proud of him. Thankfully, his sister doesn't see these things. At least one of my children will hopefully have a normal life.
Damn.
If you do see one, and you decide to save yourself, chances are you will see another one. If you can't handle saving yourself, then I suggest you get your affairs in order. That's my best advice to you. And that was the top 8 scariest incomplete people sent to me by my subscribers. Have you seen a scarier incomplete person? Then email me at doyouseeincompletepeople@gmail.com. The scariest ones might make it into a future video. Remember, every email needs to grant me permission to use it and how you would like to be credited.
Oh boy.
Disturbing. The Skin Stalker. from the ghastly specter. When I first heard about this, I thought it was a joke. Boy, did that change real quick. I soon started seeing an empty sack of flesh. It had no bones, organs, or anything underneath its skin. It was as if someone had skinned a 20-something-year-old and said skin came alive. The only reason I could tell was because of its deflated appearance. At first, I thought it was my imagination. When I started seeing it more and more, I knew it was real. Please, someone help.
He's dead.
I See Incomplete People by Collins. I was out for a walk when I saw it. It was a man with no arms or legs, and it moved like a snake. Just not as fast, but it still scared me. The Outline Man by CD. I'm so glad I have confirmation I'm not going insane. Since I was a teenager, I've been seeing what looks like an outline of a man. You know how cookie cutters are shaped? Where it's just the outline with no features? He looks like that, but an actual person. I don't know what he's waiting for, but I'm glad he hasn't acted yet. How do I get rid of him permanently?
Kill someone.
The Seaside Torso by Ekum Sakad. Oh, thank God. I thought I was alone. I believe I encountered one of these things you mentioned in your video. A week ago, I returned to my home island for a summer break, and as is tradition, I went to the beach with my family. Most of the day went just fine, but as we were packing up to leave around the afternoon, I saw it. Right by the waves, receding back into the sea, a human torso. I had to do a double take to make sure I was seeing right. No cuts, no blood, no nothing. It looked like it was born that way. It just lay there wet and covered in sand, unmoving. I honestly thought I was just tired and seeing things. I did watch a video based on such a thing recently, but I kept seeing it. I almost stepped on it at the grocery store. I saw it while out on a date. She thought something was wrong with me and ditched me a few moments later. I see it around my apartment building sometimes, moving like a worm, pulling its bottom half forward and bending its spine just enough to later flop forward a bit more. I didn't have my phone with me at the beach, but I took a picture of it yesterday right next to my car. And I somehow locked this thing up somewhere. No one else sees it. No one else hears its movement. I can still hear the faint sound of flesh smacking on pavement. What do I do?
Kill someone.
The Feet by Sam. Over the years of watching this channel, these videos have never once hit so close to home, unlike the recent one. My incomplete person has only feet, no legs, no arms, nothing. I'm glad I found a way through your videos to get rid of it. It's going to be real difficult too to me not having a car. Like everyone else, it follows me everywhere. When I was visiting a nuclear power plant, it was there. When I was swimming in my old family pool, it was there. Something I noticed that was different. I'm not sure anyone else has seen. Sometimes the feet hang upside down, like it's on a bed or something, like a child trying to see the world upside down or something. It's not like the feet are covered in blood. I just see a little bit of bone sometimes.
Ugh. I don't see anything.
Yeah. Happily.
My experience with 3 incomplete people from Classic Customs.
3? Jesus, you're definitely dead.
I've been watching your recent videos on the incomplete people, but it wasn't until after the second video that I saw one myself. In fact, I've seen 3. Mr. Hole in Head, Inside Out Man, and Just Ahead. Mr. Hole in Head was the first one I started seeing, although all 3 of them showed up around the same time. I was woken up by him knocking at my window one night. I opened my blinds and nearly defecated myself. It didn't help when he showed me the literal hole in his head. His head had a hole in it just big enough for a golf ball to fit through. going through his skull and even into his brain a bit. Oddly, there was no blood or obvious signs of damage, except for the hole in his head. I didn't bother taking any pictures of him or telling anyone, since I was certain no one could see him but me. Seeing as I wasn't the violent type, I started to prepare for my inevitable death, while also trying to act normal around my family and not raise any eyebrows. That was made harder when a few days later I saw Inside Out Man. Well, I thought he was inside out at first. It took me a bit to realize that he was just a collection of internal organs that just so happened to be inside out. He dragged himself across the ground wherever I went. Just Ahead showed up not long after. He was just a head. No neck, not even a spine. Just a full-on head. I was certain my life was over by that point. That night, I went to bed hoping that my death would be a quick one. I heard each of the incomplete people enter my room like ghosts, phasing through my door. What happened next, however, was quite unexpected. The three terrifying entities looked at each other, and then they started to attack each other. Inside Out Man raised up a knife from out of nowhere and began cutting into Mr. Hole-in-One. Mr. Hole-in-One screamed. I saw Inside Out Man hollow out Mr. Hole-in-One and commission his body for itself. Then this new, slightly more complete, incomplete person turned to Just Ahead. He used the same knife to cut off the top of Just Ahead's, head. Then the entity was complete. I watched it disappear along with whatever remained of the other two incomplete people. Since then, I haven't seen any more incomplete people, but I wouldn't be surprised if more showed up.
Oh.
The
That's
Man
interesting.
Without a Brain by
Yeah.
Mai.
Hey, I recently watched your video on incomplete people. I'm 26 and I work at the mental asylum as a psychiatric nurse. So yes, I do work with many rather psychotic people. Many have tried to attack me. Many wail and screech in the dead of night. Many have committed heinous crimes that landed them at the lowest level of humanity. One day I was consulting a patient diagnosed with schizophrenia, a condition that caused them to have delusions or hallucinations, sometimes voices in their own head that others don't hear. When we began, I noticed he was showing signs of near insanity. And he started telling me that he was seeing a person who's missing all their limbs, legs and arms, he described it. In a shaking, crazed voice, how it looked like a bloody, mangled tree trunk with only a head. I finished our session, though as I was sorting through my papers, I saw someone standing at my office door, just staring. He seemed to have a crazed look in his eyes from afar. I could tell he wasn't blinking. His chest wasn't moving. His pupils were still. He was as pale as a ghost. Everything was intact, though. He looked normal, other than this rather odd stare. "Sir, please wait outside," I said. I figured this was just someone else's patient, but somehow escaped. Yet it still didn't move. It didn't blink. I slowly approached. I took a small flashlight and pointed straight into its eyes. Its pupils didn't contract. His brain wasn't functioning properly. So then I tried to call a coworker. Though they claimed they didn't see anything, no matter how close we got. They even suggested I had developed schizophrenia after all these years of working. They escorted me out of my office. I swore it turned around and stared at me. My boss gave me a pass to head home early. When I got home, I locked my door, though when I brushed the curtain aside, it was out there, staring directly at me.
Sorry about that. My Alexa went off.
That's okay.
Also, I just realized how many people who are probably affected by these things are probably just labeled as schizophrenic.
Honestly, it seems weird that they'd be instantly labeled that way, since schizophrenia is actually pretty difficult to. You can't just label someone as schizophrenic, I'll say.
Ah, gotcha.
So, to me, that sounds like a cover up rather than.
Hmm.
Oh. Because, like I said, you can't just label someone schizophrenic.
Yeah.
You can't just randomly develop it.
Farm Cather, we need every single one of these things that target the same person and work good. God damn. Then again, we don't know how many people there are. The incompletes, I mean. We don't know how many there are.
Passed out right after. I woke up at like 4:45 a.m., still on the ground, a bit woozy. I immediately turned on all the lights, rushing back to my room. Finally made it onto my computer when I found your follow-up stories. I watched through the full thing. I then checked my camera that was propped against my door, turning back to the time I got home. There was nothing, not even after I passed out. Had I encountered an incomplete person? Have you seen an incomplete person? Then email me
It
at
wasn't
do you
missing
see
anything.
incompletepeople@gmail.com.
Being incomplete
The
person?
scariest ones
Maybe it was
might make it into a
missing
future update.
something, but not
Remember,
anything visible.
every email needs to grant me permission to use it
Think of this.
and how
Not
you
all
would
the
like to be credited.
missing things are visible.
Yeah. Then again, it did say they didn't blink, so maybe their eyelids is missing?
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be unfortunate.
Yeah. But yeah, that is terrifying. This is really good so far. It's really creepy.
Yeah.
I have 2 more of these in me before the series will go on a temporary hiatus. So I was just listening to your whole story thing about incomplete people the other day, and the armless one about the lady made me think real hard. Like, that was a sixth sense of inspiration in its own right. So after thinking about it, and the idea of her kept coming back like she was haunting me, I drew her. I couldn't help but think of the sick noise her biting through someone's arm was as I drew it. Here's to hoping it won't bite me in the butt later. The Armless Woman by Messy Sketch. Incomplete Person Sighting by I Might Be a Weasel. I tend to not use my living room much. Usually I'm watching TV in the kitchen or playing video games in my bedroom. But about 1.5 years ago, I started getting into watching movies. And for that, I started hanging out in the living room a lot more. Bigger TV. About 3 months ago was the first time I saw him. Just glimpses at first. But it started lingering longer and longer. Now I'm numb to him. I've been calling him the couch potato. A morbid sense of humor helps when there's a limbless man in your house that everyone claims you're making up. No arms, no legs, just bloody stumps, like they have been freshly ripped off, and a face frozen in horror. I'm not sure if he's tried to hurt me. Could be that he wants to and can't. No arms and legs. Usually he just stares at me, eyes follow me wherever I go. When I get close, he shakes like he's trying to move. But he stops when I sit down. Why do I sit next to him? Watching the TV with him is the only thing that gets his eyes off of me. If I'm there and the TV is on, he will watch it with me in silence. A weird sort of equanimity, but I'll take it. At least horror movies never scare me anymore.
That's fair. Oh, look at that little guy. Look at that little rabbit.
It's right there, by Flameheart. Dude, now I'm freaking out. 2 hours after I watched your initial video on the incomplete people, I heard something come from my dark hallway. It was barely over a whisper, but it said things like, watch your head, break a leg, you have 1 foot in the grave. It freaked me out, but no one else could hear the voice. I finally saw it. Well, I don't know how to begin. It was sitting down in a fetal position, facing toward me. It had no torso, its limbs and head just floating there in the dark. Its eyes were missing, and the left leg and foot were gone too. The worst was the smile, or lack thereof. Its mouth was missing, a chunk ripped off its face, yet I could still tell it was smiling at me. I just stared at it, not being able to look away. Then it sat up and walked, or glided toward me. I was sure I was going to die, but all it did was speak again. What it said will haunt me for the rest of my life. You're lucky. I'm not looking for your body parts. But that doesn't mean I won't be watching you. Just from behind the shadows. Sweet dreams, little one. That's when I blinked, and it was gone. I haven't seen it since. Please, I'm scared it will come back. I've been locking myself in my bedroom at night, but I can still feel that thing. It's still out there, watching me every night. I don't feel in danger, but how long will that last? Eyeless figure. I'm so glad I found a group of people who can understand what I'm going through. I really need to talk about this. It started about 2 weeks ago. I was coming home from a late shift at my local pub when I first saw it. A person, or at least what looked like one at first, it was standing in the middle of an empty car park, its gaze fixated on me. I couldn't make out the face clearly, but there was something really unsettling about it. I tried to get a better look, but I decided it wasn't worth provoking. Thankfully, it was only a few moments later when my bus came. When I got on, I asked the bus driver if he knew what the random man in the car park was doing. The bus driver turned around and looked right at it. He swung back around and said in the most confused tone, "What man?" I brushed it all off as evening exhaustion and decided to just go home. The morning after that I got up for work, I opened up the blinds and I saw it right across the street from my apartment. Staring right at me was a humanoid figure with no eyes. Where I tried to meet its gaze, I just saw a black void, as if staring into the back of its head. It was just harrowing. It just stared at me. I don't know how else to put it, but it felt as if it could really see me. That day I called in sick and didn't leave the house once. From that day on, it followed me everywhere. No one else seems to notice it. My friends think I'm joking when I talk about the blind man who won't leave me alone. I see it out of the corner of my eye, standing in the shadows, always watching. When I look directly at it, its expression is blank, lifeless. I hate it. A few nights ago, I woke up to the sound of scratching. The room was dark, but I could feel its presence. It was standing somewhere in my room. I don't know how or where, but I had never been more scared in my life. I froze, unable to move or even breathe. I had never been a religious person, but in that moment, I prayed that God would save me. Since that night, I've tried everything to get rid of it. I've spoken to priests and consulted psychics, but they're useless. Tonight, I'm keeping a gun on my bedside table should anything happen. I'm not going to assume bullets work on this thing, but if it really comes to it, then they'll at least work on me.
Damn.
If anyone wants to take something from this,
That's
please
valid.
believe me. The incomplete people are real, and they won't stop until they're whole again. If you see one, ignore it. The moment you become curious is the moment you sign your death warrant. If you don't hear from me after this email, then assume the worst. I Saw One When I Was 17 by Nathan Gillespie. I was about 17 when I first saw him, or it. The semantics don't really matter. One day I walked into the school bathroom and washed my face after a random nosebleed. I closed my eyes to wash off the rest of my face, and when I opened my eyes, what do I see but a man, at most in his 30s, behind me. I was startled. I thought I was alone, and I didn't see or hear any of the stalls behind me open or anyone walk in. I turned back to glance at him directly. He was average looking, and he was wearing jeans and a gaudy green turtleneck. That was weird for sure. I give nothing more than a passing glance out the window, and what do I see? I see him again, and it's like he's staring right at me with those haunting, piercing gray eyes. And then the bus lurched forward, and I wouldn't see him again for another 2 weeks. I was in a movie theater with my girlfriend. I was sitting on the edge of the third row, and we were well into the movie when a man walked out from one of the aisles and in front of the screen. You think that would have drawn the ire of everyone else in the room, but they just kept watching the movie. I was about to say something when I realized it was the same man in the same clothes. What voice I could have mustered to tell the man blocking the view was stripped from my throat as he began walking down the aisle and towards me. Much of his face was obscured by the darkness of the theater, being that it was facing away from the screen, but I could tell its eyes were wide open. Once he reached me, he leaned down until his nose was level with mine. I turned my head, his eyes met mine. Silently, his once mild frown turned upwards until he was smiling ear to ear with teeth bared almost like a rabid dog. I had almost made a motion to push him away when his own hand reached up to the collar of his turtleneck. He slowly lowered the neckband to his collarbone, but it was too dark in the theater to make out any detail until a bright white light flooded the theater, and I saw what he was showing me. There was a massive gaping hole in his neck. I mustered the willpower to push it away from me and bolted for the exit. I don't remember much of what happened after that. I do remember waking up in a hospital and every part of my body hurt. Both my legs were broken, and so was my left arm. I was completely alone. There were no doctors or nurses around me until what had to have been 3 excruciating hours later when my girlfriend walked in to visit me. She told me I'd run out the theater screaming into traffic, so I guess that settles it. I asked her about the person in front of the movie screen, and she gave me the most incredulous look ever. I was in the hospital for a few days after that, and I could swear I saw eyes outside the window sometimes. Once I even woke up in a sweat, reliving that moment in my dreams, only to have an uncanny sensation of being watched. I still have those night terrors, and sometimes I see the man again through the windows or out in public or in the peripherals of my vision, always with that feral smile, always with a hole in his neck. I saw your video about incomplete people, and I think what I saw might have been an incomplete person. I really hope it isn't. I really hope it isn't. The Corner Creeper by Josh.
Okay, so they're getting more and more terrifying.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You okay?
Yeah, no, it was just really creepy. Just like imagine seeing a person no one else can see. Like everything's normal at first, and they just slowly remove their shirt down a little bit, and you see a missing hole.
To me, this just sounds like an aggressive ghost, which is something I've dealt with before.
Yeah.
Guzman. Hello. Seeing these videos on YouTube recently has lifted a small bit of weight off my shoulders, but has also added an empathic sadness. You see, I believe myself to be the only one, and although this entity has terrorized me for the past 2 months, I had long given up as finding any sort of solution. I have seen many different examples in your first 2 videos, but they all seem to have one thing in common: a goal. The incomplete person, as you would call them, seem to all have the goal of completing themselves. My case, however, seems to only have the goal of terrorizing me. I want to begin this story where it started, the deep, deep end of a YouTube rabbit hole. I remember it was one of those nights that I couldn't fall asleep, but I had to work in the morning, so I thought listening to some podcasts or something would help me get to bed. I was a bit of a horror fan, especially for analog found footage, so I decided to look up any upcoming shows, and that's where I found it. An untitled video posted about 2 weeks before. I would give a proper date, but since my first view of the video, I haven't been able to find anything on it, and the video seems to have been deleted from YouTube. In it, a video of a door frame, a man breathing heavily, camera shaking just a little bit. 4 simple words that shake me to my core still to this day. You see it, right? The video ends. At the time, I was convinced that the video scared me because I thought the man was crazy. Then I looked away from the video and saw it too. Just a man, but only the right half. At least, that's all I know he has. He's always creeping behind the corner or something, never showing too much of himself. However, every time I see him, he seems to be smiling wider and wider and wider. His eyes seem to grow larger and larger, to the size of teacups, and all he seems to do is look at me. He just looks at me and smiles. He shows up at the grocery store, the barber, when I'm in the bathroom. He will find a corner and just look at me from behind it.
He's a pervert.
I'm not sure why or what the reason is.
He might not
but
be
he
a
seems to just want
pervert.
to
Maybe
terrorize
he's a
me.
pervert.
It's all he's been doing for 2 months now. I watched the solution video that you sent, but I don't want to get close enough to figure out what I need to do to save myself. I look forward to more information. Please Help Me by Maximus Dork. It's been over a year. I started seeing it after I had to go to the hospital. It was just standing in the room. It's missing its eyes and the lower half of its face and its neck. It always seems to stare directly at me. It gets closer when I take my eyes off it. It's right up next to me, and I could look down into the gaping hole into its chest. I tried to tell the nurses, but they dismissed it as a hallucination. I got referred to see a psychiatrist. I've been on multiple meds that's supposed to stop it, but I still see it. It was everywhere. It was at my job, my college, the grocery store, the gym, my favorite restaurant. Anywhere and everywhere I go, it's there, and it keeps getting closer when I don't look. I lost my job, I quit school after failing all my classes, I lost my boyfriend and my friends. The only place it doesn't follow me is my apartment, but it waits outside. I stop leaving my apartment if I can avoid it, and every time I do, I barely look away from it. I'm alone now. I sit here in my room. Nothing feels the same anymore. I don't enjoy what I used to. Every time I have to get my delivered groceries from the doorstep, it's there. I'm waiting for the day that my apartment door isn't enough to hold it back. I know it'll come. I need help. Please, I beg you.
Well, she's dead and fucked.
The Serpent Sailor by Lucy Heartquake.
This is one of the new
I know
ones.
it's a hopeless question to ask if you see him. Not even the gulls are disturbed. He's a slithering skeleton with no legs, dragging himself forward using his arms. On his head is an old sailor's cap. I think he might have been a freighter man trawled up from the icy waters of Gitchi Gumi. Every day he's moved farther from the water. I can hear him now, clambering his way up to the lighthouse wall. His shadow stretches across the lake.
Ew. He wants more than skin. Right,
Endless Spiral by D. Ramsier. Your video helped me put a name to something I've been seeing for years. It's a woman, I think. It's hard to tell. Her body doesn't fit together. It's as if you bored a hole into her stomach and then started to cut a perfectly symmetrical spiral outwards from there. It's a hypnotic void, passing through arms, legs, and head. Every time I look at her, it's as if I can't ever look away again. If it wasn't for the sheer panic, I don't think I'd ever have been able to stop staring. It's been a long time though. Panic fades. Even terrifying monsters can become routine. I dread the day that I accidentally let my guard down enough to let it do what I think it wants to do to me. Walk toward it.
Ugh.
Ever since I was a child, I would see it. It first appeared on the ceiling above my bed. It appeared to be a heart and veins latching to the surface. The heartbeat and the blood oozed out of its veins. I would see it everywhere. School, park, work, college. Honestly, it's become the norm for me. I was actually sent to a mental institution at one point because I had a breakdown. I just told everyone I stopped seeing it, but that's a damn lie.
Damn.
Just this morning, I saw it latching onto the window, freaking the hell out of me. And after seeing your videos, I'm scared that it might be my heart. Heliotro Cypher, who you can find their artwork listed here, has shared 6 photos of incomplete people that they have encountered. For years, I have seen several headless, necklace, and what looks like walking trypophobia. These are my favorite incomplete people. I'm not sure why they specifically are more common in my area. I've attached some of the sketches and doodles I've made. Most are taken in public areas watching from a distance. Have you seen an incomplete person? Then email me at doyouseeincompletepeople@gmail.com. The scariest ones might
Like,
make it into a
aggressive
future
towards them.
update. Remember, every email needs to grant me permission to use it and how you would like to be credited.
Okay, now how worse is it gonna get?
We'll find out.
No?
Update 4. The Man with No Eyes by Jesper. A few months ago, my brother started acting paranoid. At first, I didn't think much of it. He would just be more on edge than usual. Sometimes when he would walk across the street by our house, he would keep looking over his shoulder. Or I remember this time at school when he got startled by something only he appeared to be able to see. But then soon after, his behavior got more frantic. He started making a lot of pictures of random places, empty corridors, parking spots, the aisle at our local grocery store. He would print these photos out and ask me if I could see it. I didn't understand what he meant, and when I asked him what I was supposed to be seeing, he said, "The man with no eyes." Shortly after this, he started locking himself in his room and barricaded his bedroom door. He wouldn't come out for days. My parents talked about calling a doctor because they thought he might have been having some kind of mental breakdown. But then one day when my mom went to check on him, I heard her screaming. I went upstairs to check what happened. She had found my brother on his bedroom floor, covered in blood. He was dead. His eyes were missing, and the pictures he had made were all scattered around him. But this time they weren't empty spaces. This time I could see what he was so afraid of these past couple of months. In each of these pictures was a man with no eyes. I'm afraid. Not just afraid, but I'm often terrified. Not just because my parents couldn't see the man in the pictures, but because I saw the same man. He was at my brother's funeral, just staring at me with those empty eye sockets. This was 2 days ago. I just found your video on YouTube today about the incomplete people, and the solution is apparently pretty straightforward. But honestly, don't know if I have it in me to give it what it wants. I don't know what to do. One Without Features by Lily C. I've been a fan of this channel for a while now. though I never really thought any of this could be real. Just a fun bit of make-believe to get scared at for fun, much to my husband's displeasure, since I have a tendency to get hung up on a good series. I contemplated sending this for a few days. I'm still not sure if what I saw really
Are
counts
you
as an
vibing with
incomplete
what's
person.
probably a dead person?
Yeah. I already told you, I got hung up on too many analog horrors, like even more than Chew.
That's fair.
I went an entire analog horror pipeline. Anyways.
I can't think of what else it could be. I first saw it at a playground near where I live. It's a child, probably around 5 or 6 years old, based on size. I can't tell whether it's a boy or a girl though. It has no distinguishing features that point either way. And I do mean no distinguishing features. The poor thing doesn't have a face. Not like a blank mask, but has no eyes outside of sockets. And both its mouth and nose look like they've been sliced clean off its face, leaving only the insides visible.
Ugh.
It's been following me around, and I don't know what to make of it. I'm afraid it'll attack me, based on what other people have said, but I don't feel any animosity from it. It feels more like it's lonely to me. My husband hasn't taken things well since I told him. I know he's just worried, but his antics and this situation aren't doing my mental health any favors. I think I'll just pretend I don't see it anymore. My features wouldn't fit its tiny body anyway, and this kind of stress isn't good for a pregnant lady. The Vivisected Man by
Oh my god.
Yeah,
It's not after her.
it's after her unborn.
Oh my god. I was waiting like for a twist at some point. I was like, oh, okay.
It'll probably wait till the baby's born, honestly.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it better, but
Yeah, find a way to kill these things. I don't know if there is. They're probably already dead.
well, once again, they need to wait for the baby to be born.
No, random person was saying, like, yeah, find a way to kill these things, like the incomplete people.
Uh,
Counter-mimetic virus. If you just look in SCP lore, you know how bad that is. That's a really bad idea.
honestly, they're probably already dead. The best way to get rid of it is to seal it.
Or what was said before, kill someone else.
No, thank you.
Horse One Heart. Hello, I had recently watched your video on the incomplete people and it brought back a memory that I had forgotten about until then. From the ages of 7 to 18, I would always have this reoccurring dream that would happen every year between the months of March to May. In this dream, I would always see a form of vivisected man that would chase me or stalk me through the entire dream until I woke up. Every year, the man looked different. It started out as only the nervous system, such as the brain, spinal cord with nerves, where the limbs should be, and eyes that were attached to the brain. Then every year, until maybe 15 years old, the man would gain more and more features, such as a skeleton, a digestive system, and eventually muscles. It never gained skin though. These dreams were so disturbing to me that for a good while it would keep me up at night when the time came for the dream to reoccur. Eventually the dream stopped, but I did have another one again, I think maybe when I was 21 or 22 years old. It was really strange. I was not afraid of him this time around, just more curious that he decided to appear again. I really hope that it was just a weird nightmare and not an incomplete person. When I saw your video, it genuinely freaked me out because it was so uncannily similar to my memories of that dream, and I wanted to write in and tell you about it. The Heartless by Joseph. Help! I'm locked in the bathroom on a red-eye flight from Columbus, Ohio to Seattle, Washington. When I fly, I always download a few YouTube videos to watch on the flight. Unfortunately, your incomplete people video was one of them. The flight was about half full, and most of the other passengers were either asleep or watching screens like I was. I watched the video, I'm not gonna lie, it creeped me out. I raised my head to look out the window, and I saw him in the formerly empty seat next to me. A man in his late 60s in a wrinkled business suit wearing no shirt. His rib cage was open and missing his ribs, and more importantly, his heart. I was panicking inside. I don't know why, but I couldn't yell. I got up quickly and went to the bathroom and locked myself in. As I'm writing this, I'm waiting for someone to start knocking on the door, and I pray it is the flight attendant. The Eyes by Crimson. So I recently had a cat-sitting job for a week in my neighborhood and was spending the night at the client's house. I was up late one night talking to a friend over Discord with one of the cats snuggled up next to me on the couch. All of a sudden, the cat shot her head up and started hissing, frantically looking around the room like she didn't know what she was hissing at. Thought maybe she had a bad dream, but she kept hissing and growling with her hackles raised like she was on guard. I wondered if she saw something through the sliding glass patio door that spooked her. But when I got up to check and turned on the outside light, I almost jumped out of my skin at the sight of two eyes staring at me through the glass. Just the eyes. Sitting on the patio table. Not even any blood. Just two eyes with the optic nerve still connected and draped behind them. I could even see the pupils contract as the light came on, as if they were still alive. I turned on my phone camera to show my friend, but she swore up and down she couldn't see them. I didn't really know what else to do. So I eventually just shut the blinds and tried to convince myself I was just seeing things. The eyes were gone the next morning, but the cat barely left my side the rest of the week. She wouldn't even eat without me in eyeshot. Ever since I came home, I keep thinking I see an eye peering at me from behind a piece of furniture, between the aisles at the store, or through my cracked closet door.
Okay, so animals can see him.
Or it could just be cats. Cats are one of those animals seen as a guard to the underworld. Some mythologies say dogs are too, but
You got my back, Busta?
I said some.
He's passed out.
I'm honestly not even sure if this is an incomplete person stalking me, but it's the best lead I have. You're the only person I've told about this besides my friend, and while I'm relieved I'm not going crazy now, I'm scared for my safety. Is there anything I can do to keep this thing away from me?
Kill someone.
Also, has anyone else noticed
No.
animals acting weird around these things? Especially
Feel
cats? I swear
a
they can just
spirit,
sense
you
these
can
things
feel it.
sometimes. Exposed Nerves by Hopper
Ugh.
Rabbit. Hello, I just watched your videos of the incomplete people and immediately started writing this. About a month ago is when I started seeing it, just brief glances out of the corners of my eye. My family has a history of mental illness, so I went to my psychiatrist to get prescribed antipsychotics. The first time I finally saw it fully was on the drive back. It's seemingly a bald man, however, instead of normal legs and arms, it's just the nerves. No bones or blood, just smooth, thin, white tendrils woven to vaguely resemble limbs. Its skin is almost translucent and blue. The medication isn't doing anything. I still see it. For the last 2 weeks, I've been bound to my bed. It started with a numbness in my toes, but now I can't feel anything below my thighs. I've attached a drawing I did while bed bound since it's really all I can do. My muse has been motionlessly standing in the corner of my room, mocking me. I don't think I'm going to survive this, especially since I can feel that cold numbness creeping up my fingertips.
Random person says, so I have a question. We have mentioned that people who are stalked by the incomplete people can be misdiagnosed with schizophrenia. What are the odds of a person sending an email in is actually just hallucinating? Oh no. That would be
I will
awful.
say that it was misdiagnosed each time because you can't just randomly diagnose someone with schizophrenia.
Hmm.
One, schizophrenia can be seen through brain scans. Therefore, literally, you cannot just randomly say someone has it and have them locked away.
Yeah.
Two, schizophrenia doesn't make someone dangerous. Hallucinations on their own does not make someone dangerous, so it's another reason why it wouldn't make sense to lock them away. And another reason why I said it made no sense.
Yeah.
That's why I said it's more likely that it's a cover up, because the people doing the cover up are very bad at lying.
Yeah. Oh, we only have 8 minutes left.
So, the random person, they're not misdiagnosed. They're being lied to so they can be carted away.
Mm.
They're being pushed away in a cover up. Left to die, I'm guessing.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Ugh.
Hey, they have some bones. You saw the teeth.
Yeah.
Have you seen an incomplete person? Then email me at doyouseeincompletepeople@gmail.com. The scariest ones might make it into a future update. Remember, every email needs to grant me permission to use it and how you would like to be credited.
So, a lot of people are dead.
It was fun receiving your submissions. Most of your stories were very creative and genuinely scary. I really appreciate your participation and am honored you wanted to contribute to the incomplete people mythology. And if your story didn't appear in a follow-up, that doesn't mean it was bad. Some of them were either a tad too long or you didn't give me permission to use it. With that said, this will be the last follow-up, at least for a little while. A little over a month ago, I received a submission that genuinely made me uncomfortable. It's the main reason it took me so long to wrap up this series. Honestly, I wasn't going to mention it or publish it, but another YouTuber encouraged me to upload it as a bookend for the project. It's called The Rib Cage, and it began with an email. August 1st. Hello, Vintage. I just watched The Incomplete People and a few of the updates. I thought it had a cool creepypasta vibe, but no offense, I didn't think much more of it than that. I probably would have forgotten all about it, but then I started seeing one of these things in real life. Started about a week ago. I was doing a Zoom with my grandma. We were talking about school when suddenly I saw this thing scurry behind her. It must have startled me because my grandma immediately asked me what was wrong. Of course, I told her it was nothing. I've been fighting a twitch in my eye and a lack of sleep, so it was easy to blame that. I just finished a rough summer semester and was mentally exhausted, so I brushed it off as my tired brain seeing things. That was the only way I could rationally explain what I saw. But then I saw it again. It crawled to the space just above my grandma's head and stopped. Almost like it was offering me a good view of it, like it wanted me to see it. The thing was just the upper half of a man, and it had no waist or legs, just an exposed rib cage, which it used to hold onto the wall. Naturally curious, I leaned toward the screen, just to get a better look. I took a screen grab, which you can see here.
don't see it.
Yeah.
Its head made a 180-degree turn and stared directly at me. He had the face of a young man no older than me. Its jaw dropped and it released this nasty, high-pitched scream. I immediately jumped back, startling my grandma. She asked me if I was okay, but before I could lie, it was gone. We spoke for a little while longer and it never returned. I even started to relax a little. Maybe I just needed sleep, I thought. About 20 minutes later, Grandma exited the conversation. I powered the computer down, and then in the reflection of my blank screen, I saw it. It was crawling on the wall right behind me. I leapt to my feet and turned, ready to defend myself. But there was nothing there. Once again, it was gone. I didn't sleep much that night. When I went to leave the next day, I saw the thing wandering up and down the hallway, like a bug searching for food.
Yeah.
I stayed in my dorm for the rest of the day, even though it obviously wouldn't have trouble getting back into my dorm if it wanted to. So I'm emailing you to see if you can help me. How did you come up with this story? Is it based on something? Is there any truth to some of the other things you posted? Please, I would appreciate anything you might can tell me. Wendell. I took this email as a normal submission and considered publishing it along with a few others. I was surprised when I noticed he sent a second email the following morning. August 2nd. Please don't ignore this email. I am deadly serious. I can hear this damn thing scratching outside my door. I swear to God it spent most of the day in the room above me scurrying around. I know it's taunting me. It's letting me know I'm its property. Sometimes I can hear it whispering. I have no idea what it's saying, but it can't be good. I can't imagine anything good coming from something like that. Please help me. This is not a joke or a submission. I need your help. Wendell. At this point, I believe this to be a part of the story, a part of the submission. I admire the commitment to the story. That is, I did until the third email came later that afternoon. August 2nd. I was eating lunch in the living room when this thing finally decided to attack me. It grabbed and held me down. The thing bared its rotten teeth, lunged from my side. It took a chunk out of my waist and swallowed it. It was about to take a second bite, but I was able to grab my plate and jab it into its eye. The thing released me and scurried away on its ribcage legs. I can't live this way. I can't live knowing one day this thing is going to succeed in biting through me. That's no way to live or die. I read one of your stories, and it said that you can offer it someone else to take your place. Is that true? If I found someone who might deserve it more than me, could I possibly get out of this?
Yes.
There was something about this email that encouraged me to reply. August 3rd. Hey Wendell, I'm sure this is just part of your story, but I just have to make sure you know this is fake, right? Best. He replied almost immediately. August 3rd. This is not fake. It is very real. One of them is trying to get me, trying to kill me. I need to know what inspired this. It might save me. I really didn't know how to answer that, so I just went with the truth. August 4th. I made it up, Wendell. I'm not really sure what inspired it. His reply came a few hours later. No. You're lying, you have to be. If you don't help me, I'm screwed. I hear it wandering around my apartment. My time is running out. Do you understand that? It's waiting for me to fall asleep. I know it. That's when it's going to get me. Kill me. I couldn't help but be concerned. August 5th. Look, you sound like you need some help. Is there someone I can call for you? He didn't answer. I waited 2 days and I started to get a little worried, so I emailed him again. Hey Wendell, you okay? Again, nothing. I started to think maybe I fell victim to a prank, or I got caught up in someone else's story. But just as I was about to push Wendell out of my mind, I received another email. I'm gonna try and save myself. I feel sorry for this woman, but better her than me. Wish me luck.
Oh.
I immediately alerted the authorities, and to my knowledge, nothing has come of it. They didn't seem too concerned that this was anything but a prank. I haven't heard from Wendell since, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So what do you think, guys? Was I the victim of a prank, or is this real?
Not surprised police didn't want to do anything. And that's it of the first arc.
Oh. The first arc?
There haven't been any new arcs, so maybe he's still working on it or something. I don't know.
No.
Yeah. Anyways, Thirst No More, Part 2. Before we do that, I have to go pee.
Okay.
This is all fake, just stories. Yeah. Last guy was fully real. Yeah.
Oh, you're in here. Hi. Are you still streaming? Yeah, but I can stop at any point. Yeah, because I was wondering if you wanted to stream or not. I do. Want an hour later. It'd probably be better to do it now. I'll tell Aaron that I have to go as soon as he gets back. Not wanting my flesh to be torn off by my own hair is a little more important. Are you the one with the crate from McDonald's? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. He's letting it. Uh, McDonald's has a very unique flavor, and I hate it, and I love it.
Yeah, each restaurant has their own
Alright,
unique
I'm back.
flavor.
Welcome back, Aaron. I'm gonna have to leave stream early tonight because I need shaving in a certain area, so my flesh will not be ripped off.
Oh, so you just want to end it here?
Yeah,
Alright,
like I said, I literally need to shave so
that's fair.
my flesh doesn't get ripped off.
Alright.
My skin is sensitive but extra thick, which causes my hair to be extra thick, but because my hair's extra thick, it's extra tough and durable, and that will tear my skin off.
Damn.
That is not a joke.
Gotcha.
I have permanent scars from my hair.
Gotcha. Do you
So
have
yeah,
any...
this is not a want, this is a need.
Gotcha. Do you have any last words for stream?
Uh, this was fun. Thank you, Aaron, and thank you, random person. Oh,
Jesus.
random person's last words is cheese is good.
Yes.
Oh. Oh,
Alright, I might find someone to raid then. Good night, Jerry.
good night, Aaron.
Yes, yes, you were. Yes, he did. I mean. Fair. I have that game, but I haven't played it yet. Yeah, Raid Wars is Danger Not All Raid as always. These things are phenomenal. Alright, Danger Noddles. I know this was a rather short stream, but, one, donate to the charity if you can. I appreciate it. And if you reach the goal, you get merch next year, so. Or I'll try and set up merch next year. So that'll be neat. And, yeah, agreed. And, so, tomorrow will be tier listing, the groups of interest, international version, And then Friday, Saturday will be Pokemon, and Sunday we'll be finishing off that horror game. And so yeah, I'll see you guys then. And sadly, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I do have to work, so I'll be streaming late. Sadly. But then I'll be off till next Monday. Or after the Monday after next Monday, I should say. Goodbye and circumventional orgasm.